And we're back to talking about Colonel Sanders. Yeah, you probably don't want Edgeworth to be the one to handle this town. I don't think this would be his forte. Maybe Mia Fey. Or Maya Fey. Or even Pearl Fey. Those three might be able to help. This is more like the area they grew up in. A Colonel Sanders? Ah, of course that's right up her alley. I understand her wanting to take home Satoko and Rika-chan. I just said it, but I don't agree with it. Like at all. No. We do not take home children. Unless they are our children. Those you can take home. You cannot take random children off the street. Even non-random children you cannot take off the street. No, do not do this. Yeah, we probably don't want Pearl here. We got serial child abductor Rena to deal with. But I can't understand the Colonel Sanders. What's so good about that four-eyed geezer? Probably better to hear it from Rena, don't you think? She'll probably just say, because it's so cute, Sparkle Sparkle, though. Does Rena often go to the construction site to hunt for treasure? Every now and then she says she's going to have a look. But a girl her age rummaging around in garbage is, well... If Rena enjoys it, then I think it's fine. What were they doing over there? Dam construction? It had been bugging me since yesterday, like an itch I couldn't scratch. Oh, it was cancelled a long time ago. Everyone gathered together and fought against it. Yeah, it's the garbage. It's digging through garbage that triggers our sense of wrong. And not the fact that she keeps trying to abduct the two kids here. And punches people. A lot. Those are not... Hearing an ominous word like fought come from Rika-chan's mouth startled me. That's right! It was unbelievable. They said Hinamizawa would be sunk into the reservoir and we had no say into the matter. So, I'm only able to be here because the protest succeeded. I'm sorry. I didn't keep you, did I? My deepest apologies, Keiichi-san. It took me a while to powder my nose. I needed to know that, thank you. Satoko? Wait to use the can until you really have to go. Why are we lecturing people on their bathroom habits? Please stop this. Protagonist, please don't do this. It's a lot easier since it shoots right out. Okay, I'm fully in tune with Lady Mage here. Can we get back to the murder stuff? I really don't want to talk about people's bathroom habits. Thanks much, game. Eek! How dare you speak that way to a maiden of unparalleled beauty such as myself? Who is she calling a maiden? If Satoko really was a maiden, she wouldn't react like that. The usual hijinks ensued. Now then, gentlemen, in accordance with the rules of our society, I bring a point to discussion. He, Keiichi Maebara-kun, wished to be included as a member in our activities. What say you? Oh God, what did we agree to? Reina has no objection. Oh ho ho! I wonder if the likes of this peasant is up to the task. Seriously, what did we agree to? Me and Satoko both approve. The three of the man queried voiced their approval. A unanimous decision. Congratulations, Kiichi Meibara-kun. I present you the honor of being allowed to take the entrance exam for our club. What club? What the hell's going on? Start from the beginning. I didn't say I would join. What club is this? God, I'm in tune with the protagonist. Help me. Yeah, if it's a literature club, I'm out. What our club does, you see, in order to cope with our complicated society, we perform various activities under different sets of rules. Sometimes they are in your favor, and sometimes they work against you. So life. I'm pretty weak, so I'd prefer if you didn't single me out. Let's try to get along. You're so naive, Reina. The law of the jungle is survival of the fittest. This was starting to sound a bit sketchy. Starting? You missed that a few sentences back. So what kind of club was it? To sum it up, it's a club where we play games together. What type of games? Is it? I hope we're talking about the board games from earlier. Rika-chan was the only one to answer my question with a pertinent response. So basically, this club put Mion's hobby of collecting games to use. By playing the various games that Mion had hoarded every day, it seemed that, depending on the day, there were prizes for the winner or a penalty for the person who finished in last place. I'll make this clear right now. We aren't playing house here. You should treat each win or loss as if your life depends on it, alright? Please tell me they play death games. Well, what's wrong with just having fun? Don't make it sound so crazy. The first rule of our society, we don't talk about Game Club. Aim only for first place. Going at it half-assed just because it's just a game isn't allowed. Rule number 2 of our society. For that reason, you are obligated to make all possible efforts. The way Satoko sounded, it sounded like she was saying, use any means necessary. Of course, I will do my best too. I'm pretty weak, but I'm trying my best. I knew what they were trying to say. In a game where everybody's aiming for the top, it's rather unsportsmanlike to play just for fun. Alright, then I too will go all out! With that, I was finally ready for the rite of initiation, my baptism into the club. There were apple rabbits involved. It gets uncomfortable to talk about. A word of warning, Kei-chan. Reina can get pretty nasty. This initiation looks like it's going to be rough. Mion began fishing around in the student lockers in the back of the room. They have the games here at the school? Well, it's club equipment, so I guess that's fine. Complicated games would put Kei-chan at a disadvantage. So today we'll play a game that you should be familiar with. How about a standard card game, like Old Bachelor? Alright, let's do this. Leroy Jenkins! At least we have Colonel Sanders. Can't really get into it unless there's a penalty. I don't know what the sound effect is. It's like the sound of something hitting steel or something like that in anime. This time the loser will be sentenced to having their face drawn on. What do you think? Whoa, whoa, it won't be oil-based paint, right? Right? Oil-based? Face painting with oil-based paint. That is perfect! Satoko cheered the idea on. She didn't even flinch at the thought of such a severe penalty. It seemed like she was raring to go. If it's gonna be like this, then I can't lose either. Then I'll just cut the deck and start dealing! Dragonus broke, huh? What exactly broke Dragonus? Which part? Old Bachelor is pretty much the same as Old Maid. There's only one difference. There's no Joker. In its place, one card is pulled out at the start, meaning there will be one card without a match left over at the end. Oh, the fact that you can't lose? Okay. You don't know which card will end up being the Joker. It's a pretty thrilling game. The music. This goddamn music, it sounds like the opening to a boss battle, yeah. It sounds like what you'd expect in Final Fantasy to hit like the midpoint major boss. My God. I have to listen to music for a second, sorry. God. That very tense, even with a breakdown in the middle of it. Good God. Seriously. Okay. I'll take out the card now. Reina took out one card and left it face down on the table. Everybody stared at the card intently. Well, it'll be pretty obvious in the endgame. And there's the loop, okay. No way to tell at the start. But the rest of them were very serious. They didn't seem as relaxed as I was. They compared their cards to the one face down, all while gauging each other's reactions. It was as if they could see what the face down card was. Nah, couldn't be. This deck is pretty worn out. No way. Can anyone tell by the scratches what the card on the table is? Remember the second rule of our society? Keiichi-san must try his hardest to win as well. A number of cards are quite unique. Keiichi-kun should be able to remember them pretty quickly. She said that so matter-of-factly. Suits me fine. Don't think a little thing like that can be your crutch. I lashed out angrily, but it was rather obvious I was at a disadvantage. After all, they'd gone so far to memorize the wear and tear for each individual card. This wasn't a simple game of Old Bachelor. If this was a test, then they were playing with the answer sheet in front of them. Bring it! I'll take advantage of your carelessness and beat you at your own game. We're upgrading this to ride motorcycles. No? Okay. That baseless confidence would soon be crushed. Kiki! How about I tell you your hand starting right from the start? 3, 4, 9, Jack, Queen. What? By the way, the Bachelor is the Jack of Diamonds. Yeah. I can tell what they are even if you switch them around. I am out. Urgh. I thought I was prepared, but for it to be this brutal, just overwhelming. It's demons. You're all demons. Rena isn't a demon, are you? Sorry, Keiichi-kun. This is the 3 of Hearts, isn't it? I'm out. Ah! Not even a hint of mercy. Rena, even Rika-chan. These club activities weren't to be trifled with. The alumnus of this club would definitely survive in the cruelest of situations. Only because they all had marked cards. If our entire class had self-detonating collars strapped to their neck and were dropped into a deathmatch on a deserted island, these guys would probably take to it like fish to water. I can already picture their joy as they hunt down each of their classmates. It's a lowest point system. The order itself dictates the points. Whoever has the lowest point total wins. Since Keiichi finished last, he has 5 points. There's already a 5 marked down on my scoreboard. I think it's unfair to Keiichi-kun if we don't use a new deck. It's fine, it's fine. Kei-chan is a man after all. He can turn the tables even if the odds are stacked against him, right? It's fitting for a lowly peasant to scamper home and soak their pillow in tears, don't you think? A petite hand laid itself on the top of my head, which was trembling from uncontainable frustration. It was Rika-chan's. Keep on fighting, yeah! Thanks to Rika-chan's words of encouragement, I was able to calm down. You need to be calm, especially when you're cornered. That's the power I can muster during this crisis. Think clearly, Keiichi Mibara. Take your time and look at the cards carefully. It's just as Rena said, each card has its own distinct markings that made them stand out. Memorizing them should be pretty simple. Think about what you can do in this situation. Try everything in your power to improve your chances of victory. Whoa! Great, Keiichi-kun! Just like that! I covered the uniquely marked cards with my hands or other cards, arranging them in such a way that they couldn't be seen. The one with the ripped corner should be the 5, and I'm out. I couldn't let any of those precious hints slip by me. All information is a weapon. Then it was my turn. Satoko fanned out her cards for me. You see, I want the 7. Is it this one? I wonder about that. You won't know unless you take it. There was a bit of dismay in her expression. Like she doesn't want it taken. That kind of expression. I won't let that momentary lapse slip by me. I know! It's this one! Got it. 7 of spades. A cheer of ooh rang out. What is this? The 7 should be the hardest one of all to tell apart. It wasn't from memorizing the markings. Those slight changes in their expressions as I was selecting a card were enough. Can't hide it from me, Kei-chan. This mark means it's a 2 of diamonds. What? She was startled by her own misread. Of course everyone else was too. Oh, It's rare that Mi-chan gets a card wrong. No! Kei-chan, could it be... you... They told them apart by different marks. That mark was a nail scratch. So I put a new one on it. Are you saying he disguised it as the two of diamonds? But what an impressive show of wit! Kei-chan landed a clean hit! That's great, Keiichi-kun! That was an incredible match, you know? Having defeated the forerunner, Mion, my brilliant battle left me ecstatic. But by total points, it was already set in stone that Mion would win and I would finish last. I laughed haughtily, selecting the tone of my voice carefully to get on Mion's nerves. Well, I'm going to end up the loser, but I'm satisfied with one-upping Mion at the end, Sparkle Sparkle. Ha 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 ha! That should be the proverbial slap in the face to Mion, who was at the top, already an ensured victory. Even if Kei-chan gets first place this round, he'll still end up last place overall. Don't you hate that? Of course I do. Let's have a duel. One chance. If you win, then we'll swap first and last place. How about it? You up for it? She fell for it! A chance for an upset that wouldn't be possible without goading her into it. One chance, you say? Let me hear the rules. Mion discarded 2 cards from her hand and replaced the one with the Joker card that was on the table, then shuffled the resulting hand behind her back. The card in my right or the card in my left? If Kei-chan can guess which hand the Joker's in, then he wins. When you turned around just now, you didn't pull out the Joker, did you? If you lose, I'll show you the card in the other hand. That okay? The other 3 gulped nervously at this unexpected turn of events. Alright! You've got it! Mion grasped 1 card in each hand and thrust them out at me. First, I needed to inspect them closely. The card on the right had no distinguishing marks. I couldn't tell which one it was. Which one, I wonder? Keiichi-kun, be careful! Yeah, of course. This is my chance for a big comeback! Looking closely at the card on the left, I saw a little wear. It wasn't one I'd seen before. Ah, that card is... I didn't let that bit from Satoko slip by me. Mion clucked her tongue. I didn't recognize the mark on the left card from the small number I had memorized. I didn't know what the left card was, but I could tell from Satoko's reaction that the card had already appeared during the game. Since it had already appeared before, that meant it definitely wasn't the Joker. Ooh! Kei-chan thinks it's the one on the right? Will you choose that one then? Will you? The left card definitely wasn't the Joker. If I could trust that theory, then I should have been able to declare that the card to the right was the Joker. Even without Mion's taunting, the one on the right was the most suspicious. But wasn't it a bit too rash to decide based solely on Satoko's reaction? More carefully. Ah! I remember now. That mark, the left card. No doubt about it. The 7 of clubs. It's a 7 of clubs, I see. I've won! The card on the left was the 7 of clubs. So that meant the card on the right was the Joker. And then, just before my hand touched the right card, I froze. I would expect no less from you. There was a wave of murmurs amongst the onlookers at my sudden halt, right before I confirmed the right card was the Joker. Huh? What could Keiichi-san possibly be saying? I mean, the left one is... Shh. I don't know what this is, and I'm not sure if it's fantastic or terrible. I'm not sure. Ooh. What makes you so certain that the right one isn't the Joker, Kei-chan? Mion let loose an unexpected question. Everyone else was baffled. I don't know what the card on the right could be, but I note the one on the left is the 7 of clubs. Then, doesn't that leave the right one as the Joker? One of them has to be the Joker, right? Yeah. One of those is the Joker, right? Keiichi has good intuition. Huh? Rika-chan, what do you mean by... So basically, the 7 of clubs... I discarded that by matching it with Satoko's 7 of spades earlier. Everyone's attention snapped to the discard pile at the same time. The truth of the matter couldn't be discerned from the sloppy pile. So that means Leon pocketed one of the discarded cards, then aligned it over the left card. And that means... I see! I get it! This left card is being disguised as the 7 of clubs, right? It was the first time since the start of the match that a shadow ran across Mion's expression, and I didn't let that slip by. Then, with a grand flourish, I declared it loudly. The Joker is the left one! It was an intense moment. That 1 second felt like an eternity for everyone there. Breaking that silence, the first one to speak was Mion. Being the first president of this club, I've been witness to a variety of performances. Kei-chan, yours is the best. The best of the best of the best. That was probably the greatest compliment Mion could give. Mion accepted her defeat, dropping the cards from both hands. My comeback victory! Rika-chan placed her hand on my head and began petting it, congratulating me on my victory. Huh? Rika-chan is... Reina and Satoko gaped at us. It felt as if they'd seen a ghost. What is it, Reina? It's not as if I cheated or anything, right? This was fair and square. Rika only pet someone on the head to console them. Huh? What's the meaning of... At that moment, Reina let out a small shriek. Keiichi-kun! This is how it was? You know, Kei-chan, I thought you'd read into it that far. Everyone froze. No, it was just me. It was a gamble. If you just jumped to conclusions like a little brat, then I would have lost. It was the answer everyone was certain about. Mion picked up the card from the losing hand. Kei-chan, you know you should take pride in this loss. She turned it around. That was the card that proclaimed the victor of the duel. The card under the 7 of clubs. Unbelievable. It was the 2 of diamonds. It was a setup behind the setup. If I just picked the right one without reading so deeply into it. I, Mion Sonozaki, as the club president, do accept Keiichi Maewara's membership into our club. As I slumped to my knees, dazed, everybody let out a round of applause for the excellent effort I gave despite my defeat. Technically, she didn't cheat. She just left out the fact that she hid multiple cards in both hands, apparently. This is the game-playing club. That's all I can figure out. Where they get really damn serious about their card games. The match is now over. Today's victor is me, Mion Sonozaki, and our exalted loser is Keiichi Maebara. Everyone made a commotion, applauding cheerfully. I felt I was bested, but I was so soundly beaten that it unexpectedly felt rather refreshing. Get dunked on, kid! When Michan pulled that little trick behind her back, I got excited thinking she's gonna do it again! When Keiichi-sen stopped the moment before touching the correct card, I thought, he fell for it! He fell for it quite handily. Huh? Hey, wait. All of them knew from the start and still got so excited so earnestly. Everyone got excited to make it more fun. You're all demons! You monsters! Now then, Kei-chan, it's time for your penalty. Since it's your first day participating, I'll go easy, okay? It would be a problem if you refused to come to school. The other 3 members held down my arms and shoulders firmly. Mion approached, licking her lips. Her right hand went to pull something out of her pocket. That's a felt tip marker, and it's large and oil-based. Okay, here we go! She took the cap off the marker and brought it slowly up to my face while I was immobilized. No! 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 I let out my death throes. What the hell did I just read? Would somebody tell me what the hell I just read? I don't think I comprehended it correctly. Did we really just have a card game that was described being so dramatic that it made the motorcycle card games episodes of Yu-Gi-Oh! Look sane? Did that just happen? What the hell game did I just pick? And how much longer is it gonna go? I mean, the thing is, to get to a different point, this game has 5 chapters in it listed on the Steam store page, and I own all 5. And we've been kind of going through chapters in this. Are we going through chapters 1 through 5 in a part of chapter 1? Or are we going through all 5 chapters listed on the Steam store? I don't know. If so, we're halfway through. Somewhere in there, because this is chapter 3. Or are we just, partway through chapter 1 and it's broken that up into chapters? The Assassination Classroom actually makes sense. I mean, at least there's an overarching plot that a being of a unimaginable power is threatening to blow up the world. And that being is, amused by the people trying to kill him. So he's training, he's allowing students to train to kill him. That, that keeps him entertained, at least. That makes sense in its own way. I don't know what the hell this is. And apparently we can have 100 saves. I don't know what we need 100 saves for, but we've got them. Anyway, as soon as the club activities were finished, Raina flew off. Probably so she could dig out that cute Colonel Sanders who wasn't able to take home yesterday. So today it was just Mion and me walking home together, a rather rare occurrence. Despite the fact that we said we'd help her out, we're just leaving her to go dig the thing up alone. We are like that. A mountain of treasure, huh? The guys throwing it away probably never thought in their wildest dreams that Raina would be grateful to them. Okay, part 3 of chapter 1. Okay, that's fair. Mountain of treasure, meaning that damn construction site from before. There are 18 of them in total? Wow. The only one I know is Higurashi. I don't know any others. I may look it up and we can go through the whole game series. Oh, right. Mion would probably tell me. The murder by the dismemberment that seemed to have happened. Oh, good. We're getting back to that, finally. Thank God. That sounds sarcastic, but it's not. Over there, at that damn construction site. Did something happen there? Long ago? Something sure did. A grand battle. There were sit-ins and demonstrations. It was a bit different from what I wanted to hear, but I decided I'd listen just the same. It was our land that was going to be sunk into the dam reservoir. I would have thought as well, probably. The government guys were really adamant about it, acting all big and full of themselves. Since they figured out that they couldn't settle it with money, they did a bunch of nasty stuff. They were nasty guys. Mion spoke excitedly as if the whole thing was happening right in front of her. I'm amazed you guys won. You were facing the federal government, right? So that's Higurashi. Games are called chapters as you need to play them. Okay. Fair enough. The mayor and prominent figures in the village all signed petitions. They went to Tokyo and struck deals with legislators, and as a result, the development plan was retracted. It was our complete victory. There wasn't any violence, was there? Like assaults or murders? None. She promptly cut me off. The same as Rina had. Her words signaled the end of discussion. Tomitaki-sen said one arm wasn't found in the incident. I thought that a murder by dismemberment had occurred, but I guess I was wrong. My curiosity unsated, I sighed dejectedly inside. Later, see you tomorrow. Kei-chan, you can't wash that off until you get home, got it? I got it, I won't. Mion held back her laughter while stealing glances at my face. Little did I know that this would become permanent inside of 5 minutes. Just enough time for me to get home, but not enough time for me to wash it off. I wonder what kind of nasty doodles they drew. Dicks? It's always pictures of dicks. Damn you, Mion, you shall rue this day. If our roles are ever reversed, I'm going to slop it on all over your face so you won't be able to take it off even with a scouring pad. Upon arriving home, I ran straight into my room, embarrassing myself yet again. The mood I'd come home to was already on edge. It's not an uncommon thing in our family. Whenever Dad can't come up with a good idea, it always ends up like this. He stomps around the house with his arms crossed. "134 hours gameplay playlist." Oh God. Well, that's going to take up a few streams. Mom whispered in my ear. "Welcome home, Keiichi. Dad, he's in a bit of a rut right now, so don't bother him, okay? He can't come up with a new idea. It's because the deadlines are so close together this time. Your dad needs time to recharge or he didn't work as well. Dad's paintings feed our entire family. If he runs out of ideas, then that's the end of the Neabaras. We've never gone hungry before. Could it be that my dad is a master painter? Wouldn't it be easier to get an idea taking a walk outside rather than wandering around the house? The theme of the piece this time is in the household. So it seems your dad wants to use this house as a motif. That's quite a bothersome motif. Keiichi, pick up your room. It looks terrible. Sorry, I'll clean it up later. Come on, please don't use my room as a motif. Keiichi, there's still some time before dinner. So please, go take a walk out back or something. His bad mood is only temporary. As soon as he gets an idea, his mood improves and he starts humming. Until then, it wouldn't be a bad idea to just go take a walk so I don't aggravate him further. Hell, I guess I will then. I said I was going to take a walk, but I didn't have any particular destination in mind. And just out of curiosity, is this the actual start of the whole series, or did I pick a game that's like right in the middle of everything? I mean, if you're looking at a playlist, is this the actual start of it? I just need to kill some time. I got on my bike and pondered where to go. I could just go read at the bookstore, but it would take about an hour by bike to get to town. It would be dark by the time I got back, so I didn't want to go unless I had to. The roads at night here in Hinamizawa creep me out. If Mion or Satoko ever found out about that, I smiled wryly. Oh yeah, Rena was probably at the Mountain of Treasure, the damn construction site. The excavationist Colonel Sanders was probably taking her a while. It wouldn't be so bad to have her owe me one, even though we said we'd help her out not too long ago. Yeah, she might return the favor next time we have club activities. With a little bit of self-interest in mind, I set off towards the damn construction site. Tomitaki-san might be there as well. The only person with information about the incident that both Reina and Mion denied knowing anything about. If I met him again, I'd like to ask for more details. To ask, was there really a dismemberment here in Hinamizawa? That was my real intention. I'm okay there? This is the beginning, huh? Fair enough. You know, I understand what they did to get these background images. They took a real photo and applied Photoshop filters to it. I get that. I wouldn't mind it so much, but when they do the transitions of it, looking at it kind of makes my eyes hurt. Just a little bit, you know? It just, that blurry makes my eyes try to focus on a very unfocused image. And it does weird things. I spotted Raina struggling up on the slope of a garbage pile. It looked like Colonel Sanders was lodged in there pretty firmly. It didn't look like Raina would be able to excavate him by herself. Realizing that Tomitake-san wasn't around, I began climbing up the slope unsteadily. Hey, Raina! Looks like you're working up a sweat. Whoa, Keiichi-kun! What brings you to a place like this? A place like this, huh? I see. She was aware of it, at least. I received a signal for emergency assistance at the accident site. Where's the injured party? Huh? Accident? Huh? But there's a report Colonel Sanders was buried alive in the trash pile. Oh, that. You scared me. I thought you were going to talk about the thing we must never mention again. Don't frighten me like that, Keiichi-kun. I was just kidding. Thought you might be struggling by yourself, so I came to help you out. Eh? You came for me? Oh. Well, I filled my quota for the day. I'm going home. If I don't see Raina blush at least once a day, then I'm not getting my daily required nutritional intake. You. Just kidding. You're embarrassing me now. So, huh? What part was the joke? What part was it? I just ignored her bewilderment. Okay, now move out of the way. So where is Colonel Sanders? Sorry. Can't you see him in that gap? He's really buried in there. The Colonel Sanders was sideways, surrounded by boards and other construction materials like they were caging him inside. According to Raina, it wasn't like this yesterday. It seems as though another illegal dumper came here yesterday, dumped again, and now he's buried like this. You're trying to move this pile all by yourself? With those scrawny arms? There's no way she'd be able to do that with her slender arms. But Colonel Sanders, so cute! There's a chain on the Colonel Sanders at the store. This one, though, I should be able to take this one home. Ow. If Raina gave up on this Colonel Sanders, she'll probably start devising a plan to steal the one in front of the store. As Raina's guardian, I won't allow her to sully your hands with the crime. Except for murder. Which we need to get back to. Out of the way, I'll do it. Raina blushed again, but this time I left it alone. The pile was enormous. Also, the more days we wasted, the more likely another illegal dumping would occur. If it got buried deeper, there would be nothing that could be done. Keiichi-kun, I'll help too. Let me help. You just get in the way, so stay back. No, really, you're going to need the help, Keiichi. Come on. One person alone is not going to be enough to clear out a mountain. Hernia. Pulling out scraps, bending them, tossing them aside. Like a man! I quickly became covered in sweat and dust. Flying objects drew beautiful arcs across the twilight sky, one after another. Lumber, timber, plywood. 3 words for basically the same thing. Damn it! No matter how much I threw out, there was still more. That's kind of how a dump works. Even though I could see Colonel Sanders right there! After grandstanding like that in front of Raina, I felt frantic because of how little I progressed. If I was going to do this seriously, I'd need an axe or saw or something. An axe? Why didn't you say so? That's enough, Keiichi-kun. You're so sweaty. You don't have to try so hard. I'm just doing it for you, Raina. Don't worry about it. Raina began sputtering and turned beet red. Whoops. I meant to say I was trying my best so as to keep her from becoming a criminal. Oh well. Yeah, best to just draw a black curtain over that. I guess I just need a break. This is pretty tough. I don't see Colonel Sanders in there. I sprawled on my back over the grassy slope. I'm so sorry. You're covered in sweat. Raina patted her handkerchief against my forehead. It felt pretty nice. Yeah, Dead of Stupid. So far, this game seems to engender that with the characters. Dead of Stupid. Yeah, yeah, I can empathize. Well, wait here a minute, okay? My house is pretty close. I'll bring you some barley tea, okay? Leaving the handkerchief on my forehead, Raina took off running. The cries of the Higurashi gently cooled the air. After I was certain that Raina was gone, I picked myself up and headed towards what I'd discovered earlier. There was a garbage pile of magazines and newspapers bound up in twine. Unless I'm mistaken, I believe it was around here. There it was. They were bound stacks of not-so-reputable tabloids. They were stacked chronologically, going back quite a few years. It was quite a disturbing incident. It seems they haven't been able to find one of the arms, you see. If it was just as Tomitake-san said, then undoubtedly there would be mention of the murder. These are troubled times. There's no end to these sickening incidents. There's a large part of society drawn in by these incidents as well. So it had to be recorded. Somewhere. I unfastened the packages and opened the rain-soaked pages carefully, looking over the table of contents. Not here. Next one. Not here. Nope. It was hard to search since I didn't know when it happened. I didn't know who the perpetrator or victim was either. I only knew it had happened here. I looked up ever so often, checking to see if Raina had come back or not. I wouldn't want her to see me gawking at a dirty magazine, but it wasn't just that. Both Raina and Mion said they didn't know. But it had happened, without a doubt. As long as Tomitake-san wasn't lying. Then if both Raina and Mion... Ah, yeah, there was. If they had just said that, then I wouldn't have gotten so hung up on it. An incident that neither Raina or Mion wished to talk about. Trying to uncover it after they tried to conceal it out of good intentions. That made me feel like I was acting against my friends. Hinamizawa dam worker lynching. Murder by dismemberment. Here it is. The featured article was in the back, and it seemed like there was a photograph in the colored pages at the front. The pages of the featured article were stuck together and weren't easy to open. Raina could return at any moment. Feeling rushed, I gave up and opened the photograph page. The police investigators were carrying a body bag, and newspaper reporters were all bathing it in camera flashes. The image was blurry and hard to understand, but I could definitely make out the headlines. A tragic nightmare at the Hinamizawa construction site. Lynching and murder/dismemberment. The victim was the site foreman. He had assaulted his assailants daily with an explosive backlash from his daily actions. It's a horrible image to see the site foreman as... It happened. It really did happen. It seemed the details were on the next page. I turned the page without pausing. On it was... a photo negative! The assailants butchered the victim's body with the hatchets and pickaxes. Then used an axe to split the cadaver into 6 pieces. The head, arms, legs, and torso. I could understand just from the headline that it was just too terrible an incident. Normally, a lynching is just another assault and murder, right? Dismemberment with hatchets and pickaxes. Dismemberment with pickaxes! That is, hardcore? That wasn't a lynching. That was a merciless killing to the letter. A brutal murder done by a group of people. With hatchets. With pickaxes. With an axe. Ah! Eek! Sorry. Did I startle you? Rena dropped the axe she was holding onto the grass after being startled by my voice. So she did go to get an axe. Uh-huh. Gee. Keiji-kun, you see, earlier, you said it would help if you had an axe, didn't you? So then I brought an axe for you. From the shed. Rena fluttered her arms in a panic, continued to explain and apologize. It seemed to have been glaring at her pretty intensely. I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I guess my reaction was a bit overboard. She just wants to ask us a question. Actually, we want to ask her a question, but she won't answer it. No, I'm sorry as well. I'm sorry. Night was drawing close. I was pretty worn out, and it wouldn't hurt to do the rest tomorrow. Doesn't look like we can break that last beam without an axe. You brought it after all. I'll have to borrow it tomorrow, all right? Okay. Why do you look so glum? Tomorrow we'll be digging out Colonel Sanders, right? You're right. I really want to take Colonel Sanders home soon. We both knew that it was useless to apologize any more than that. I quenched my thirst with the barley tea Rena brought and wiped the sweat that had now gone cold. We took the path to head home. I felt quite guilty about the tabloid wrapped up in my jacket. Time to save. New tips. Achievement unlocked. One man's trash. The Hinamizawa Dam Project. October 1975. I was only about 4 months old back then. In accordance with the Prime Minister's Bulletin number XXX, Hinamizawa's Electrical Development Master Plan was announced. The vast scope of the project at Hinamizawa Dam will have an incredibly heavy impact on the village of Hinamizawa. The flooded area caused by the Hinamizawa Dam would include the 5 areas of Hinamizawa: Takasudo, Kyotsu, Matsumoto, and Yogoshi. The submerged area includes 291 houses. Population 1,251. 1 elementary school, 1 middle school, 1 post office, 1 agricultural cooperative, 1 forestry department lumberyard, 5 shrines, 2 temples, and 1 fishery, and a partridge in a pear tree. That's not much smaller than the town I grew up in, really. All of these communal, cultural, agricultural areas and places of worship will be indefinitely submerged at the bottom of the artificial lake basin. Forsaking the 100 years our ancestors poured their blood and sweat into this fertile, resource-rich land is just too painful to bear. Yeah, if the land is actually fertile and good for farming, Japan really doesn't need to be turning it into a lake. Japan has a scarcity of good farmland. If they have a good farming valley here, not a good idea to make a lake there. All the residents having homes that were to be submerged banded together and created the Onikakushi Defense Alliance. The dam project was halted and petitions to alter the plan were circulated. The citizens sought peaceful negotiations, but the government and its puppet company, Quintuple X, openly refused. Performing unspeakable, heinous acts, they quashed the democratic actions of the villagers. But the villagers did not falter. Instead, they banded together even more closely and steeled their resolve to protect their homes to the death. The continuation of that frightening Higurashi Dam construction project is still stalled as of today. The villagers understand that the stalling was caused by sublime power through unity. They understand that this fearsome plan has not yet been fully withdrawn. The Onikakushi Defense Alliance had been dissolved after it did its part, but the feelings of unity it garnered have not yet been extinguished. As long as that passion resides in the hearts of the residents, they'll be able to confront whomever next decide to sink their homes into a lake basin. Onikakushi Defense Alliance Committee Chairman Kiichiro Kimiyoshi. I would not be surprised if that was actually a thing that happened in Japanese history. Oh goody, the tabloid with what looks like pin-up shots on the covers. Very blurry pin-up shots, but that's what it looks like. Nightmare befalls the Higurashi Dam. Lynching and murder, dismemberment. In X month of X day in Double X Prefecture at the Higurashi Dam construction worksite in Shishibune City, a bone-chillingly gruesome murder dismemberment. Even though this case has shocked the archipelago, the police will give no details on the case. Exactly what happened at the Higurashi Dam? They probably didn't mean to kill him at first, but as the victim resisted by swinging around a shovel, the rest of the perpetrators armed themselves in return, and it quickly escalated homicide. So said the aforementioned Investigator A. After this bloody tragedy was over, they were left with a body which nobody thought was alive. Double X-san had tormented the suspects daily with his rough behavior. At first, it was meant to be payback. All the perpetrators were horrified by their deed, and one even turned himself into the police. It was the de facto leader of this group, Double X, who suggested hiding the body. Reluctantly at first, they soon began to think they did not wish to be caught. The construction site had numerous places to hide the body with 6 people. They were originally supposed to hide the body and leave the area, but the de facto leader feared that the consciences of the other 5 wouldn't be able to bear the burden, and came up with a horrifying method to keep them from turning him into the police. He devised the heinous method of splitting up the body among them, and making each of them responsible for hiding a piece. Double X had turned a simple manslaughter into a gruesome dismemberment, and forcibly involved each perpetrator in order to create a sense of unity between them. Each one participated. But what does this mean? Person A spoke out reluctantly. Double X had ordered each and every one of them to dissect a piece for themselves. They were hesitant at first, but nobody refused. In for a penny, in for the pound, is what it meant. Thus, an unimaginable bloody ceremony began. The perpetrators wept and vomited as they performed the gruesome task. There was one person who stubbornly refused, but Double X threatened them, saying nothing would change if someone else ended up dead, and he gave up in his objections. But Double X's plan collapsed in the span of one night. Triple X, who had refused to dissect the corpse up until the last moment, had broken down in tears at the hospital where he was being treated for an injury sustained during the scuffle, and confessed. The criminals were arrested one after the other, but the de facto leader Double X's whereabouts are still unknown. Also, the right arm hidden by Double X has yet to be found. Despite an ongoing search, this horrible individual has so far managed to elude law enforcement. What could the police be doing? It appears that Double X had said he was going to throw the body into the marsh. Double X's car was discovered abandoned near the marsh, but there were no clues to his whereabouts. Double X didn't trust his companions. One cannot deny the possibility that he had expected his companions to confess to the police and used his car as a decoy. Of course, I doubt that theory. Since he has no car, one would expect him to have a limited area to which he could have escaped to. But within the station, there were rumors going around that he had accidentally slipped and drowned in the marsh when he went to throw away the body. There could be a haunt, there could be a serial killer, there could be a lot of things going on here, and all of it is sane compared to the freaking overly dramatic old Bachelor game. To the locals, that marsh is believed to be bottomless. It's known as Onikakushi, the Ogre's Abyss, and it's said that the bottom of the marsh is connected to the hellish world of demons. The atrocious demon from hell that was Double X. Could it be that he had returned to hell through the marsh? Game, why? Why, game? Jesus Christ, this game. Why? God damn. God. The devs had fun with this, I see. That was me speaking into my palm after it smacked my face. The Zijin Dragon, bringer of luck and fortune. Prosperous future. Ladies leaping into your arms. Business success. Promotions. Ambition. Protection from harm. We're gonna need that. Not just with pachinko and horse races, but business and even love. Guaranteed, or your money back. Zijin Dragon Bracelet DX, one piece. 27,800 yen. A $300 luck bracelet. Eek. I need a second. What the hell, game? What the hell? Why you do this, game? That was something. Game, why you do that? Murder, mayhem, tragedy. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, I think I know why this series was popular too. I think I've got a clue there. You've completed chapter 3. Okay. Okay. And you know, I know it's not quite 6 o'clock yet, but I think with that, I think I want to call it, call this game finished for the stream, because I don't want to get into another chapter and, we actually hit a chapter break pretty close to the 4-hour mark. And I am still not used to my new sleeping schedule yet, and I am about to pass out. So I don't necessarily want to end the stream this exact moment. But I think that's all of this game. That's all of this game. I can take for one day. That goddamn tabloid report was kind of this point where the game went, you need to stop now. That I clearly heard that voice. I did. I swear.